Calendar for the day. The first bill in the calendar for the day is House File 3872. The clerk will report the bill.
House File number 3872, number 1 on the calendar for the day, an act relating to higher education, the second engrossment.
I recognize the author of the bill, Representative Bernardi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker and members. Today I'm honored to share with you that House File 3872, which will serve as our House Higher Education supplemental budget. I'd like to first start by thanking all the committee members for their thoughtful, respectful, and engaging dialogue, and for the contributions they made to our committee and to our work on this bill. Vice Chair Christensen has been instrumental to our committee and a wonderful partner to work with. I've also enjoyed working with Representative O'Neill, the lead Republican on our committee, and truly appreciate her constructive and thoughtful engagement as the Republican lead. Additionally, I'd like to thank each member of our committee, Representative Albright, Representative Daniels, Representative Erickson, Representative Hansen, Representative Heitzman, Representative Howard, Representative Keeler, Representative Cleavorn, Representative Kosnick, Representative Kreshaw, Representative Mason, Representative Mecklin, Representative Noor, Representative Sandell, Representative Stansted, and Representative Thompson. Finally, our work would not be possible without our incredibly dedicated, talented, and hardworking staff. I want to thank our nonpartisan staff, Fiscal Analyst Ken Savory, and Research Analyst Nathan Hopkins, our Committee Administrator Sean Herring, our Committee Legislative Assistant Sam Parmecker, and our caucus researchers Bennett Smith and Callie Lehman, our media staff Gina Vega. Our Minnesota families deserve the opportunity to access a world-class education, no matter where they were born, where they live in our state, or what they look like. That is why our higher education bill is investing more than $100 million to increase equity, affordability, sustainability, and campus safety and student well-being for our students. Our bill is centered around the voices of our students. We brought them to the table and asked them what their needs are. Members, I'd like to take just a moment to share with you a few of their stories, because it's through what they are living through and their experience that we crafted this proposal. We heard from Axel, a student attending Anoka Ramsey Community College, my former college itself. Just one second, I want to get, can you get me a Kleenex, please? A Kleenex, please? A Kleenex, please. Okay, thank you just for that break there for a moment. We heard from Axel, a student from Anoka Ramsey Community College, who said it's hard to be a student right now. Many of us, like me, struggle with our mental health. Many of us struggle to have our basic needs met. Roweda, an advocacy chair for University of Minnesota's Black Student Union, let us know our state has one of the worst racial education disparities in the nation. That doesn't happen by accident, and it won't be fixed by some miracle either. But we can change things. This bill would help. This bill would assist and uplift students and teachers of color in Minnesota. We also heard from Emma, as a MSU student who shared, I followed in my parents' footsteps and became a fourth-generation Minnesota State University student. But unlike the 3 generations before me, I have not seen the same support from the state. My parents, who graduated from Mankato in 1996, were among the last generations of students who saw the state fully invest in their futures. Abigail, who attends the University of Minnesota, shared with us, state grants are a way to offset increasing costs for students, and while decreasing the costs covered by students by 2%, from 50 to 48%, may not seem like a sizable amount to a large public university, but it makes a substantial difference to the students receiving these funds. So we listen to these students and advocates from every corner of our state. We listen to their concerns, their hopes, their dreams, and now we have a chance to deliver the solutions they need to thrive in our economy and to make their families and our state successful. Our bill is composed of 4 main areas to help students succeed and earn their credentials: affordability, equity, sustainability, and well-being and safety. Let's start with affordability. The land of 10,000 opportunities, 2-year free college proposal is in this bill will put the promise of higher education and an entry point to the middle class within reach for every single child in a low and middle income family in Minnesota. 2-year free college will put their dream of higher education within reach for every working family, making it free for nearly 10,000 students across the state and significantly more affordable for 6,500 students. Students with families making $75,000 will have free 2-year college, and students with families making $75,000 to $125,000 will have 50 to 95% of their tuitions and fees covered. The Land of 10,000 Opportunities program will also help boost Minnesota's economy and address our labor shortage. According to DEED, the top 11 job fields that require an associate's degree include, and I'll list them for you, registered nurses, industrial engineering technologists and technicians, radiologic technicians and technologists, clinical laboratory technologists and technicians, surgical technologists, police and sheriff's patrol officers, dental hygienists, computer network support specialists, paralegals and legal assistants, respiratory therapists, and veterinary technologists and technicians. According to and then this bill goes even further to lower the cost of higher education by making the new investments into the state grant program, which will help nearly 70,000 students across the state. The bill also increases support for student parents, students studying social work, education, and addiction medicine. We know how important it is to have qualified, knowledgeable, and compassionate educators in the classroom. Teachers paying back their student loans deserve more financial support, especially after a tremendously difficult 2.5 years. In our bill we're discussing today, we are increasing the maximum amount of loan repayment award from $1,000 to $2,000 per year for teachers in critical shortage areas. To increase equity, this bill increases our 2021 investment that support Black, Indigenous, and Minnesotans of color who are teachers, underrepresented student teachers, and students who are parents trying to finish their degrees. The bill also makes historical changes to improve higher education access for students with intellectual disabilities. The inclusive higher education grants were included with, will help open doors on college campuses to thousands of those underserved and underserved students. The bill also increases investments to support Native American students receiving the Minnesota Indian Scholarship and increases funding for Minnesota's tribal colleges. With the onset of COVID-19 pandemic in March of 2020, we saw a re-enrollment rate of students with children drop dramatically, likely due to health concerns, job and income losses, and the challenges of remote learning for their children and themselves. we've learned that over 60% of the students who have accessed the emergency assistance for post-secondary student grants have been by student parents. Most student parents reported annual incomes of under $30,000 per year, and 20% report incomes below the poverty threshold. The lower earning level likely leads many student parents to trade-offs. For example, in 2019, only 6% of student parents attended a post-secondary institution full-time, whereas 40% of their peers that are dependents. The Minnesota Student Parent Support Initiative in our bill addresses the holistic needs of expectant and parenting college students around Minnesota, support their educational goals. My mom was one of these parents who went back to school when I was 7 years old. And boy, did I learn a lot from her going to college, and wanted to follow in her footsteps as well. She earned her 2-year nursing degree when I was about 10 years old. Access to adequate resources has been shown to positively increase parents' enrollment, persistent, and completion rates. And I know in my family that the trajectory of our family changed immensely. And my parents were able to retire when they were in their mid-50s, when jobs were, with layoffs and jobs being tight in the state, they did well for themselves being teenage-wed parents and having the opportunities open to them because of a 2-year degree. My mom did go on later to earn her 4-year degree and her master's degree. I'm very proud of her and my dad. We are taking action to combat the climate crisis in Minnesota by investing in reducing higher ed's climate impact by funding sustainability improvements at the University of Minnesota. Our bill also focuses funds higher education research into groundbreaking natural resource technologies at the Natural Resource Research Institute in northern Minnesota, and that facilitates the creation of a 50-year clean water plan in Minnesota, because we all deserve assurance of clean, safe, and accessible drinking water now and in the future. And the last element is safety and security. This bill ensures our Minnesota college students are learning in a safe and secure environment. We fund University of Minnesota's campus student support, safety, and security requests. The bill also funds Minnesota State's request to increase mental health and student basic needs support to help provide students with services that they need to be healthy and productive on campus. Our higher education budget is student-centered with lots of good provisions that will deliver critical support to our students now while delivering a brighter, equitable, and prosperous future for Minnesota students, their families, and Minnesota's economy.